Well, first of all, welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming to our ground. Actually, that's where we spent last 5 months. Yeah, I think that seeing all the disappointments and all the things what have happened in the previous seasons, I think that this year we came back with the strength, with the force, with the certain things that allowed us actually to be here today where we are standing, and we are grateful for that. I think that the boys, they've been doing a great job since the day one last year, beginning of August when we started, and we are so pleased to be here today with you guys. I think that it's a huge achievement for the club after a long period to stay today here and try to prepare and finish tomorrow with the beauty. So we hope for the best.
Thank you for the words, Coach. We'll now open up the floor for questions. Please raise your hands. We'll pass on the mic. Please identify yourself and the publication representing.
Hi, Coach. I'm Joseph from Khel. First question is Sahal available for tomorrow?
Hello, Joseph. Sahal was practicing this morning with the medical staff with certain treatments. Today he will be with us at the training ground. Later in the afternoon, we have to evaluate and see after the training. So probably he will be available.
Coach, good afternoon. First of all, many congratulations on reaching the final.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure watching your team play. So I wanted to ask a little question about your philosophy of football. What with the world being all possession based and a little slower, you're full intense, full, full pressing. So what is the inspiration behind that philosophy? Why do you demand that your players run that much?
Well, I think that's the part of, let's say, the modern life. When we look at all aspect of life today, there is evolution, and the people are tending to go with that evolution because every day there are new things coming out. We can speak about new cars, new phones, the technologies, and football the same. Football is the part of evolution, and every year when we look at modern football of the highest level, there are certain aspects of the game improving year by year. That's why we see all around the world top teams, top players becoming better with new tendencies, how to achieve certain things, how to be better, how to overcome the opposition. And me as a coach, I would like to follow those things, implementing certain things and trying to show the way how the certain opponents can be beaten. So if we look today and later on, if the players want to improve, thinking about going on a higher level, playing later for the national team, speaking now about Indian players here in India, of course we want to implement these details in order those boys to become better, to go with that modern flow that tomorrow when they face also in a national team certain national team opponents, that they can overcome them, play with high intensity, because all around the world you can witness on the TVs when we watch all together, whatever it is, Premier League, Bundesliga, there is intensity in the game, there is high pressure, there is high demands. And me as a coach, following all those things in that football evolution, I want to try them. I want to try to implement them, and of course as a coach it makes you better, it makes you feeling better later when you see that it can be achieved and that the boys, they understand that, showing that on a pitch. And at the end of the game, it makes me proud when I see them enjoying in that, and when I see everybody around later enjoying in victory. So that's the point of my philosophy, not only my philosophy, but the whole technical stuff, and actually that what brings the improvement within one club or one team.
Hi Coach, I am Anthony John from Malayalam Manorama, Kochi. So captains usually do attend the pre-match press conference just before the finals, but here we miss Luna. Is there any specific reason Luna is missing here for the press conference?
Luna was also with the medical treatment this morning. We still don't know for tomorrow who will be the captain. So today again we will have a training session. We'll have to evaluate those things. Hopefully it will be everything all right. So he was missing a couple of important things in the last day training sessions. So probably everything, most probably everything will be all right. And yet now, in this moment, the players, they are preparing. They have the last preparation for the training. They are now all of them with the medical stuff and technical stuff with some exercises, because it's the long way from a hotel till here. It takes time, And we didn't have time, especially for those players, to let them come here now, let them go back to the hotel, then we are missing them for the training session. So that's the reason.
Hi coach, Dural from Sangbad Pratidhi. Just we have mentioned about the revolution of football, but we have seen that Hyderabad striker Ogbech already he did a revolution. He has scored 18 goals in 19 matches. So how do you want to stop this revolution?
Well, we must say that he is one of the greatest player ever played in ISL. If you see Ogbech's background, being formed in France in one big club, even after our last game against Hyderabad, we were chatting and talking to each other because I remember even time playing against him back then in France. So when you are capable of maintaining your body on professional level, you can last longer. And then when you are coming from that background with such a long period of playing on a top level, then you last longer. And when you have quality, that's what makes difference on the pitch. So Ogbech, even today with his age, he can still make difference. So from our side, of course, we will try to do our best to stop him. So it's difficult because he scored against so many goals. He's so valuable for our opponent. And of course, it's a pleasure to see these great champions playing in the ISL.
Coach, your friend Krishnan Chetan couldn't be here today, but he has a question for you. It's a complete opposite of what I asked. Is for a match like tomorrow, such a high pressure situation, are tactics and strategy as important or less important than the mentality of the players? What you tell them in terms of mental strength?
Tomorrow's game, the finals, I must tell you honestly, as a former player and also as a coach, I experienced in both situations being in the finals. These are the most easiest game to play. The most easiest games to play are the finals because you are motivated, you are concentrated, you are ready, and then you have that individual creativity and motivation to show everything you can. So all the things we were been doing throughout the whole season, of course, you speak about them, you talk about them during the week, you want to prepare certain things. We know each other. With our tomorrow's opponent, we know each other. We played twice this season against each other. And tomorrow, I think that it will be the moment of inspiration, creativity. The fact that as a player, you dream about those games. I was mentioning also in the previous conferences, all the boys, when they start shooting the ball around the house with friends, they dream about playing those games. They dream about playing in front of big crowds, big finals. And these games are easy because you don't have to go deeper on, find for extra motivation. No, motivation, there is motivation. There is a good preparation for the game, and it's pleasure. It's pleasure, and tomorrow I hope that our boys will have pleasure to enjoy that game, show the very best they can, and then hope for the best outcome. So the strategy and tactics, there are things that we prepare, but in the last 7 months since we started, we know certain things, we're going to repeat them, how we defend, how we attack. In this kind of game, there will be everything. Hard duels, defending tactics, attacking tactics, sprinting, transitions. Both teams will have to show that tomorrow in order to win the game.
Coach, a question from our side, Coach. Fans will be there for the final, first time over 2 years. Kerala Blasters fans, as you know, as vociferous as they can be. As a player, as a past player, as you've been, what is that feeling? And as a coach leading your team into the final, how would be that feeling for you?
But again, it's extra motivation. Again, as a former player, now as a coach, football we play for the fans. And I think that in the last couple of months playing without the fans, it was weird. It was not nice. Playing in empty stadiums. It was not a good feeling. Now, the fact that we know we're going to play in front of the fans, it's an extra motivation for the players because, again, that's what they're living for. As a boy, you dream about playing in front of a crowd. You dream about playing for your people, your town, your city, defending your colors, your logo on your chest. So tomorrow, I think it will be a pleasure because that's the joy of football.
Coach, when you took up this job and from now, did you expect the kind of the love and respect of the fans that you seem to have gathered already? Did you expect this level of thing? Because again, we've seen a couple of videos from you where you speak in Malayalam and you're asking it's not an easy language to speak either, and you've done it perfectly. So Did you expect this when you joined the club at first?
Of course, when we had the first contact with our management, you know, you do kind of research, you know, and when you get this positive feedback and when you see everything what's happening around the Kerala Blasters, my first feeling was like, you know what, I want to be part of that. You know, it gives goosebumps, it gives you, and in the football, you know, if there is a organization with such a fan base, energy, emotion, you want to be part of that, because football is emotion. And now from this perspective, I'm grateful being part of this great family. I'm so grateful to join Kerala Blasters, to have chosen this path, because you know, it's incredible. It's incredible, something that I cannot describe. You know, it brings you kind of emotions that, you know, you want to be there. Since we started, of course, as a coach, I like challenges, and since we started, I remember talking to to technical staff at the beginning that it will be a difficult job, but I like challenges, and it's also kind of the difficulties pushing you towards like, okay, let's do it, we can do it. And the first part of the season, after 10 games against all the opponents, we made kind of evaluation, and I remember in December saying like, guys, we're going to go for top 4, we're going to be there, because the things we want to achieve, the things we would like to do, I think that it will provide us possibilities to be in top 4. So now today, I'm so grateful, because for those emotions, like, you live for those things in the football. So I'm really grateful for that kind of respect. I'm the person who always in a life first wants to show respect, because my parents, they taught me, if you want to be respected, first you must respect. So these kind of things I'm going to follow.
Coach, you talk about excitement, you talk about extra motivation, having fans, I understand, but there's also pressure, there's also expectations. You're playing for a club that perhaps has the largest fan base in the country, and the club is making the final after 6 long years. So there is pressure, there is expectations, and this is a young team. Apart from 3 players in the squad, none of them have played a final in the ISL before. Many of them has maybe tasted trophy in the lower level, but not at this level. So how is the team dealing with the pressure, the expectations in the camp?
Well, since we started, we never put pressure on our team, and with our talks and everything, we were trying to explain that football, again, in my vision, in my thoughts, football is a joy and pleasure. So you know, there is one truth in a life. There are so many people. You know, I think that we people working in football will kind of privileged group. You know, I remember even being as a player, waking up every day saying, thank you God, because I have that opportunity to work in the football, to play football. You know, there are so many people around the world doing something that, you know, maybe they have to do that to provide food for a family, for a life, and all those things. We as a people in football, we have that luck and privilege to do something that we not like, that we love, you know. And when that love, when you transfer that to the field, there is no pressure, there is only pleasure and joy, because being in you know, it gives me goosebumps even, being capable of going onto the pitch with such a great club, shooting the ball, playing for the club, it's a joy, it's a pleasure. And all these young boys, if they want to become better, if they want to become great champions, they have to go through that process, they have to go through that kind of dealing with those moments, playing finals, playing for trophies, because that's what's all about in football. And I see these things as a great opportunity for all of them, becoming better, becoming important players and key players of Kerala Blasters first of all, later on national team of India, because lots of them, they have individual qualities to reach that level, you know. And I see no pressure in this game. This is like, you know, pleasure and joy that you have that opportunity to play these kind of games. So hope that they will overcome those moments and hope for the best again.
Coach, a message for the fans who've been traveling. We've heard stories that fans are, you know, undertaking all modes of transportation, be it trains, buses. They're trying to reach the stadium in numbers. A message for them fans, you know, who've been waiting to see Kerala Blasters in flesh for a long time.
First of all, we are sorry that we didn't have that opportunity to play all these in last months with all these some nice games in front of our crowd in Cochin. And first of all, then second of all, a big thank you to all of them for all the support that we were feeling, even here in Goa in this bio bubble. We were feeling that. And with all the messages and thousands of messages and all the posts that they were sharing with us, it gives us great energy. And so tomorrow, what we can promise that we will do our best, like we did in the last 20 games, 22 games now with semis. We will do our best on the pitch. We will fight for them. We will fight for Logo and try to be better team tomorrow. So again, one big thank you, because they were supporting, and they're giving so much support to those boys, because they deserve it. Really, they deserve it. So hopefully tomorrow all together that we're gonna celebrate.
Coach, you had mentioned earlier about challenges that you're facing and how challenges make you want to do it more. But what were the specific challenges? What are the biggest challenges you faced in transforming this club? Because it's been a rough few years before you joined. So,
since we started as a coach, every coach in the world, you have your approach, you have your working style, you have your working mode. The biggest challenge for me arriving in India, in Kochi, before we arrived, they were analyzing things, they were watching all games of last season I watched, and then arriving and getting in touch live with the players group and the way of everything. Very quickly, after a couple of days, we sat down and we said, guys, so now as a coaching staff, we must change the approach we have, the working style, because as a coach you must be capable to adapt local environment, mentality, qualities. You cannot just be demanding in certain things, and then the way we were working somewhere far away, like in Europe, we had to modify those things. And that for me was the biggest challenge. But, getting in touch with those people, getting in touch with everybody within the club, with the players especially, with the environment, with community, with the people in Kochi, then we realized the way we should approach to all those things. And then with our honesty, with our common respect, with the friendship that we were creating among all of us, I think that it resulted with our great energy and positivity in our team, that today we see our team fighting for each other from the first till the last moment. The players coming from the bench on the pitch, they know the task, they know what they have to do, they don't need the time to adapt. And these kind of things were the biggest challenge as a coach, because when you go into one club, you don't know what to expect, and then you get in touch, you get the contact, you get the feeling, and then you decide about the approach. And we had to modify many of those things, which we were thinking that it could bring good result, which at the end resulted with the spot in final. So now, with all these things, when we go back and think about those things, it was exhausting, it was not easy, but of course it makes you feeling better now today, because even if it was difficult, who cares? We want to enjoy, and we were enjoying the whole ride. Not only maybe that period in January when we get hit by COVID, but even then we tried just to make fun of it, try to get with the positivity, and today we are here in the final, so we have to be happy to enjoy tomorrow's game, and again, let the better team wins.
Coach, Kerala Blasters have had this tradition of giving youngsters to the national team. Someone like a Sahal Abdul Samad over the last 2-3 seasons. Then you saw Rahul KP Jackson last year emerge. This year, Prabsukan Singh Khel, Hornpam Ruiva, these two players have impressed a lot. Even like someone like an Ayush who's come in. What is that thing which you see in a youngster, and then you give them a platform to exceed, and how do they tick off those boxes which give them to perform and then prove themselves?
Well, we try to create the hunger that these young players must have. If you want to, first, the age doesn't matter in football. If you have quality, if you're young, if you're old, doesn't matter. You have quality, you're better than your concurrents, you're going to play. So with this kind of approach, and then the youngsters who probably felt that, okay, now we have this moment where we have to fight for ourselves, we have moment that we can learn certain things, improve, become better, and we have chance to play. Because we show them, everybody gets playing minutes this season, and especially youngsters who want to prove themselves, because they see the possibility of growing up, entering national team, And as a young player, you want to, you know, you want to have that ambition. And I'm really glad that we have that group of youngsters who are really hungry to succeed, to bring the best out of them. And of course, when you play for Kerala Blasters, it gives you one extra obligation to show everything you can. So, because it's nice feeling, with all that support, you must do it. Otherwise, you are on the wrong place. So I'm really grateful and happy that we have these youngsters, and we will continue giving them chance if they deserve. They understand that they have to fight for every minute on the pitch. And I was really happy in the last 5 months seeing them here in Goa and back before in Kochi, working hard because they want to become better.